The news continues in the east of the African continent, where Tanzanian authorities announced that they have identified China, Russia, and India as the country's new strategic tourism markets. This is according to Thereza Mugobi, Director of Tourism in the Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism. Mugobi made the remarks at the opening session of the 7th Swahili International Tourism Expo in the port city of Salaam, which has attracted over 150 exhibitors and over 100 international buyers from more than 20 countries worldwide. She said with the newly identified strategic tourism markets, Tanzania is likely to meet its target of attracting 5 million international tourist arrivals by 2025. Opening the Tourism Expo on behalf of President Samia Suluhu Hassan, the Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism has said the government was taking measures aimed at promoting Tanzania's tourism industry on the global map. Now, joining me to discuss this further is Dorcas Francis, a tourism shareholder and exhibitor. Thank you so much for your time, Dorcas.
You're warmly welcome.
All right, let's get straight to it. Tanzania authorities have identified China, Russia, and of course India as new strategic tourism markets. What's your take on this?
Yeah, actually, it's a very good step on this one because when we're discussing about all these three countries, we have to check our bilateral relationship. Starting with Russia, we established our diplomatic relation with Russia since 1961. The same to China, 1961, and then it comes to India. It was around 1960s to 1980s, then 1975. And starting with China, I had to say that, you know, the Chinese market, they have been distributing around 150 million tourists around the globe. And we as Tanzanian, we have been receiving more than 45,000 tourists from China, absolutely at the end of this year. The same to Russia. We have been having this bilateral relationship with Russia in education, also medical and other economic engagements. The same to India, of which particularly India has been our ally in medical tourism. Especially we have been using their systems, their services, especially in health sector. And for me and for the entire authorities, for what they have decided, this is a very good it's a very good step comparing to the bilateral relationships we are having between these countries, Russia, China, and India.
Let's talk about the indices or factors that could have been considered by the authorities to have arrived at this decision. And do you also think that it would affect the country's relationship with countries like the United States and the UK?
All right. Actually, statistically, you can see, for example, India, it is having the lowest number of tourists who are coming to Tanzania. Up to this year, per year, we normally receive 9,100 tourists from India, of which our expectation is to have around 100,000 tourists from India. So specifically, it won't affect our market with the UK and United States because from those sides we are having lots of tourists comparing to these three countries. So what actually is happening here? And for example, today our president have flew to India to have more discussion, you know. And so far, because we are implementing our foreign policy, which is based on economy diplomacy, and one among the endowments of our economy is tourism. So comparing to all these other countries, these three we have been struggling, I have to say, to have more tourists to come. So actually, this is one of the activities or strategies of which we are using to ensure that our market, which contribute 2.4 billion in our GDP, is being boosted. So that is what I have to say.
All right. Now, the authorities said they are targeting the arrival of about 5 million international tourists by 2025. I mean, with this particular strategy. Now, my question is, how feasible is this? And also, as an exhibitor, what other areas should the government focus on to make the tourism sector more attractive and profitable? And just, for me as a traveler, why will I want to visit Tanzania?
All right, absolutely. Well, I have to say that this expectation is feasible because per year Tanzania receives 1 million tourists across the globe. And so far, due to these measures which we have taken, of which, for example, from 9,100 tourists from India, our expectation is to get around 100,000. So absolutely, it's the same to other countries. For example, we have been targeting to receive 10,000 tourists from China, of which since 2019, 2020, 2021, and even this year, May, we have received lots of tourists from China, the same to Russia. So this whole plan is feasible due to the numbers, where we normally say like the numbers do not lie. And also as an exhibitor, we are having different ways to promote our tourism. For example, there is this thing we call it fashion tourism. I'm as an exhibitor and one of the people who have participated in SITE since 2017. We have our very own program. For example, we call ourselves as a fashion tourism ambassador, of which in that fashion tourism, it includes cultural tourism, fashion tourism, and shopping tourism. It's like we have to scatter and check on other areas of which can boost tourism.
Dorcas, are you there? All right, I guess we just lost connection there with Dorcas Francis, but okay. Dorcas is back. Dorcas, can you hear me?
Okay.
All right, just quickly before we let you go, because we're pressed for time, why will I want to visit Tanzania? And as an exhibitor, what can the government do further to push your sector and make it more profitable?
Yes, and actually, after Corona, we have seen that there is this one of the biggest the Royal Tour. It is a film which portrays it tells more about the profile, the portfolio of our country. But apart from that, we need a continuation of that. Of which, for example, we have got these different promotional activities. Apart from SITE being held in Tanzania, we always also visit other exhibitions across the globe in Europe and other places, so that each and every company deal in tourism sector have been encouraged now to go and showcase what they do, because this is not only something which can be done by the government. The government has been also, and can say it has to partner with people like the private sector who are the tourism stakeholder to make sure that our industry is being pushed further. But also apart from that, I have to say Tanzania is a beautiful country. We are blessed actually. And we normally say like you have to visit Tanzania, the land of Kilimanjaro, the Serengeti, and Zanzibar. And apart from that, people from Tanzania are very welcoming. We are having the best hospitality of all other Africa. So welcome to Tanzania. Visit Tanzania.
Thank you so much for your time, Dorcas Francis.
You're only welcome.